Happy New Year. Happy New 2022. Hello, loves. Oh my God. So, my name is Louis Bikeri. I know most of you know that by now. Before I say anything, Happy New Year. If you're seeing this video, like, Happy New Year, like, oh my God. I'm so excited. Like, don't take this for granted. You guys, do you know that there's some people who really prayed to like cross over to 2022 and it didn't happen? Yeah, you know, like watching news, the internet, there's a lot of things going on like in the world, not just where you are, just around the world. Crazy things happening, and you know, like we were all like cozied up, wishing everybody Happy New Year, Happy New Year. But some people went out to like celebrate Happy New Year. Some people stayed home, and I'm in the category of people that stayed home because I love the peace at home, you know. I love spending New Year's Eve just, you know, like reflecting on my personal life, on my progress, on myself, you know, like my life so far, like how has it been, the ups, the downs, you know, the blessings, the answered prayers, the things that I have to be more patient about. But then, you know, that's not the point. I talk too much, but welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, karibu sana sana. Or if this video is popping up on your timeline, I mean, this is Bikeri Talks, you know, like let's just talk. So anyway, the discussion that I have today is the holiday season. You know, like my whole life I have always lived in Kenya, a very beautiful country, by the way. We had a lot of holidays to celebrate. So it's like from being a student, you're like, you hear like a holiday is coming up and it's hallelujah because no classes during holidays, at least for public schools, because most of the time I went to like private schools and holidays were not a thing. So even if it was a government holiday, we were still in class studying. Like one of my favorite holidays is Mashujaa Day. So Mashujaa Day used to be called Kenyatta Day. Yeah, Kenyatta is like the first president of Kenya. It used to be like that holiday where we were kind of like celebrating the heroes, people fighting for independence in Kenya. And there were these songs that used to be sung back in the day. Okay, those are stories I used to hear. There are some kids that were involved in a road accident that sang like Tarehe 20 mwezi wa 10 Kenyatta aliteswa na kuteswa kwake tukapata huru. Okay. I don't know if there's a translation anywhere in here, but that used to be like the thing about the holiday. So kids used to sing that in school all the time, and I was like, Then, you know, I got interested in history. So I did history in high school, actually, to like, you know, get to know more about the history of the country and these leaders. But then, you know, now like, I got to find out like there were a lot of leaders that were actually involved in the fighting for independence of Kenya as a country. It was like there's no use of like having this immense holiday named after one person. So there was an amendment and it changed from Kenyatta Day to Mashujaa Day. Like that is one of my favorite holidays in Kenya. Like it's like we celebrate something meaningful, yeah. But then, you know, and then at some point I got to like keep asking myself, we are really celebrating independence, but are we really independent as a country? Because it's not just celebrating the holiday, it's about reflecting about a lot of things going on and happening around you. We have more other holidays like Jamhuri Day and a lot more other holidays. So we have the common holiday that is celebrated all over the world, and that is Christmas. I grew up celebrating Christmas because I was born and raised Christian. If you are Christian, you must have known all the stories of Jesus in church. Mary became pregnant while she was a virgin and gave birth to this beautiful baby boy in a manger, and this baby boy becomes our savior. So it's Christmas. To be honest, Christmas kind of lost value for me. Not because of my beliefs as a Christian, but as a young kid from a less privileged home. Yeah. I want to say I come from a humble home. I don't believe there's something like poor, because if you go to kids in the less privileged homes, they're very comfortable and happy and living through their life. Like, you won't meet them crying every day. But I think I grew up in a home that was a little better than other homes. This is how Christmas lost meaning for me. Sometimes things were not easy for my mom. Those are some like personal things. And yes, my dad is very much present, and people have financial challenges. Nobody is, whatever. We just had financial challenges at some point when I was growing up. And when it was coming to Christmas, you know, it was like, this is the only time whereby you eat chicken, you eat chapati, you can get some beef, you can eat mandazi, you know, like the yummy food, you know. It's like you don't have it the whole time. The only time you look forward to eating this food is Christmas. But then now the problem used to come in, like, we really didn't have much. So you just chill and eat the normal food. But here's the disturbing thing. The neighbors. The neighbors don't know you do not have the mapocho pocho to eat in your home. The harvest season was throughout Christmas. So we had corn in the farm, maize. So my mom just woke up in the morning, went to the farm and, you know, cut off like the fresh maize that were a little soft because the others were getting drier. And she brought them home, and you boil the corn with some salt, actually. The next thing we had were sweet potatoes. And sweet potatoes, like cooking them in the village, you don't need anything complicated to actually cook them. So you just wash them, because digging them off the farm, they'll definitely be dirty. So we wash them and sprinkle some salt in it and boil them. And we cooked porridge, sorghum, is it sorghum or millet porridge that is fermented without sugar. And that was our Christmas that time. So that day we just prepared our normal meal, and the neighbors, the aromas were like coming from all directions. And you know, as a kid, you don't get to understand that it's just food, you know. I kind of felt disappointed in a way, but when we ate our boiled corn, we carried some of it, we packed some of it and went to church and had a good service and came back. And then, you know, like as a child, it psychologically disturbs you, because you get to church, in your lunchbox you have boiled corn, and the other kids have the chapati and the chicken and beef and everything that smells so good and looks yummy, and you're stuck with your boiled sweet potatoes and porridge, and you're still in church. But I don't think at that time I knew even how to say, Lord, thank you for the gift of life. I didn't know that. I was just like, okay, we're here, but we should be eating that too. The next day it went down, and then the following day it went completely off the radar, and things were back to normal. Then I was like, well, so that was Christmas. We really didn't die for not cooking what they were cooking, huh? And you know, like, it's all about, like, if you don't have today, it doesn't mean you will lack tomorrow. You know, you can have today and lack tomorrow. So my mom got some cash like 3 days later, and she went out and bought a bundle of home baking flour. And she bought, we got like a lot of beef, and we cooked, we ate until we were like, oh, this feels so good, this feels so good. And that is the time it hit me, like, it doesn't have to be that day, you know, like, it lost meaning to me. So more Christmases went by, and now in my home we started eating these things like more often, not waiting all the way to Christmas. So now, like, when my mom or my dad used to like get some little cash, they'll just buy the flour, and we could just make more chapati, we could do more mandazi. We had chicken at home, we could slaughter the chicken anytime, like, eat. And then I was like, so what was the point of waiting for Christmas, really? Because growing up, kids didn't even celebrate Christmas because it is like a Christian holiday. It is a Christian holiday that came with food. That's what was exciting about it. And personally, I got to like know how to hustle out. I used to do other students' hair to like get some money. I worked with a telecommunication company in Kenya, like selling the SIM cards, selling airtime to get some money for me. I became a model. I became a beauty pageant judge. I was like chasing the bag, literally. I was like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, because I need the money. And in my second year in campus, I could rent my own place very comfortably, and I could pay my bills and survive. And now I could eat all these things if I wanted them: fish, chicken, beef, bang, 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 pork, everything, fries, burgers. I could eat them anytime. And now when it came to Christmas, I was like, what good is Christmas now? That one time when it came to my realization that it doesn't really matter, that is the time it lost meaning to me. So that's why I really don't fancy Christmas. I really don't fancy Christmas. I'm Christian, yes. And I don't know who, I don't want to go into the religion part, like who knows if Jesus was born on Christmas, but that's another story. If you have assumptions about it, keep them. Another reason as to why people value Christmas is because families come together. They get to like cook meals and eat together and talk. But some families could come together, and the best thing they can do is compete. Yeah, whose kids are doing better and whose kids are not. And if two families met that are doing better and one is not, then they'll be talking about the other family. And some of these family gatherings, some people are just looking down upon other people. It's like, they are poor, we are rich. I'm like, is this what family gatherings should be about, though? So for me, I think if I want to fly home and see my family tomorrow, I will just fly home and see family and have a good meal. I'm not pegging it to a certain day that this is the day for family and this is the day for this and that. No. If I feel today I want to go home and see my mom, that is what I'm going to do. If I feel that today is the day I want to be alone, then I'm going to be alone. If I feel that today is the day I want to like go out with friends, I'll call my friends and ask if we can make plans. Are you seeing that? So anyways, that is all about Christmas. I'm sure like on this channel, some people were waiting on me to like say something about Christmas and all that. And I didn't, because I think on Christmas I was so busy doing my own things. And the funny thing is, in England, at least the city that I'm in, it's like people really value Christmas. All businesses were closed and the town was like a ghost town. And people were just in homes, you know, like eating and having fun. You know, that's okay. But Christmas looks beautiful here. Like people tend to like the decorations on buildings and all that, and it's amazing. And they have their own reasons as to why they value Christmas. I think another thing that is like, by the way, Christmas is like for kids, you know, like kids really love the vibe of Christmas because they're still kids and they get to be told, like, hey, Santa will be passing and give you presents. So if you're a good kid or you're well behaved, Santa will get you a nice present. But if you're not well behaved, Santa won't give you a present. Well, those are the stories here. Back in Kenya, if you're watching this video, did you grow up knowing Santa is coming? Yeah, I didn't even know like we have Santa. I don't know. I don't know. I grew up nothing about Santa. So maybe one day if I become a parent, I will decorate the house, have the Christmas tree for the kids. If they grow up loving Christmas, that's good for them. But all said and done, here is my favorite holiday, New Year's Eve. Oh my God. Like the transition from 31st December to 1st of January. Oh my God. That is one of the holidays that I fancy the most. Happy New Year. Like, wow. Wow. Like, you know, it's like a new chapter. It's like a new chapter. Although, like, for me, it's like my Happy New Year comes every time it's my birthday, because that's like a new leaf for me. I'm turning a new leaf. But Happy New Year is like counting the external forces around me. It's like, this year I did this. I think next year I want to plan this and that. I know people make plans for the sake of making plans, and some follow them through and some don't. But is one of the holidays that I really spend alone most of the time, because I love to reflect about what has been happening in my life. Because when you pray to God, God always answers prayers. And the prayers may not be answered like simultaneously. So some prayers will be answered very quick, and some prayers will take way a long time. So for me, I normally make a list when I'm praying. I just have a list, not writing it down, but here. I write the list of the prayers here. And at the end of the year, I start ticking the prayers that have been answered. And looking at 2021, it's like, whew, my prayers got answered. They were silent prayers, because it's not like I stood on top of the wall and said, hey, God, you know, like, this is what I really want, and this is how we're going to do it now. Then I also reflect on my growth as an individual. Like, I have grown so much. I have grown so much, because some people will just look at you and they're like, oh, okay. And someone will look at my body and say, last year, actually, like, a lot of people were like reaching out to me like, hey, you have lost a lot of weight. You should gain some weight. And I'm like, hold up. Do you even know what I'm going through? Yeah, you know, like, maybe you should start your text with, hey, are you okay? So for me, growth is not about this body. Growth is about in here and in here. And looking at myself, like, from years back, I think I have grown so much. I have grown so bad, like, so much. This growth has been immense, amazing. And when you grow, it's like, it's not easy, especially when it comes to me. When I'm going through some things, I get stressed out a lot. And when I get stressed, I have the pressure. Then I gotta do some things the way I know how to. And I make a lot of mistakes. And by the way, it's like, sometimes I really don't know what I'm doing. Sometimes it's like, I just want to do something and I'm focusing on doing that thing, you know, like, hey, I want to make this YouTube video. I don't know what I'm like, where the words are gonna come from, what phrases I'm gonna use. All I know is I want to make a video for Happy New Year, and here I am making the video. Words are just flowing. Yeah, like I think I want to do something like when I sat in 2019 and shared with a friend, like, hey, I really want to do my master's because I am a teacher, but I'm not passionate about teaching. So there's something that I really love to do in my heart, like being out there in the environment. And I think if I don't chase that dream, I'm going to be stuck here. And then that friend was like, if you think that is good, then you go do it. And I was like, yeah. And I started working on it 2019, 2020, and 2021. I flew out and I was like, I can do anything I put my mind to, because it's like nobody even believed I could do it. So a lot of people are asking, like, does she have a sugar daddy? Do I look like I have a sugar daddy now? I have a sugar daddy, yes. And the sugar daddy is omnipresent. My sugar daddy is here with me all the time, because God is bigger than what you think, man. Like, and when you have God on your side, there's nothing that can go wrong. Like, even when you don't see it working out. So yes, I have a sugar daddy, and my sugar daddy is God, and I'm gonna hold on to him. There's no way I'm gonna break up with him. Not today, not tomorrow, not the day after tomorrow. And if you wanna, you know, work on your dreams, go for it. I think I'm gonna make a video on how I actually managed to come to the UK, because a lot of people have been asking that. It's not easy, but yeah, sometimes you just need someone to show you, like, do this, do that, do that. Although I didn't have anybody showing me anything, I just gambled and went through walls and fences and everything. I just broke everything, and here I am. Well, so those are some of the two holidays that are always in my head. And I have, like, it's like Christmas is kind of like my least favorite holiday, and New Year or New Year's Eve is like my best holiday. And when I say Happy New Year, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Mwah.